The Imagery of Chess St. Louis artist is actually a brand new concept on an older show. In 1944, a bunch of artists got together in New York, and these artists were surrealists, they were Dadaists. It's the height of World War II, things are changing in the world. And so they wanted to make the chess game look different and feel different. Since we celebrate so much about chess in St. Louis and we look so much at artists, I wanted to celebrate artists with chess in St. Louis. So I commissioned 20 artists from the area to look at chess in a new contemporary way. There are some really playful pieces in this exhibition in our current show. There are some very contemporary views. There are definitely some political commentary.
My piece was really looking at that concept of chess as a game of skill, and part of that skill being that you understand your opponent, but also you understand yourself, and that you're able to see yourself and your skill base as part of the opponent's skill base as well, and that you're challenging yourself to know them and know yourself to be able to play the game. One of the big concerns and a running theme that I see in the social climate, the political climate, things that are happening in our communities, is the inability for a lot of people to take someone else's perspective or to really look and see the commonalities that we all share. When you walk up to my chess set, it is literally one-sided. So it's also a metaphor of when you do things or you take only one side of a situation or one side of a conflict, then you're pretty limited in how far you can go and how far you can proceed. In reflecting back yourself, you can play the game up to a certain point, but it's not a true functional chess set because you don't have the two sides communicating and being involved in an interaction.
Each character that I photograph represents a piece off the chessboard. You have me as the pawn, and then follow you have the rook, you have the bishop, the knight, the king, which is a woman, and the queen, which is a man. I just wanted to switch those roles because that's how I look at black women and the black women in my life. My mom passed away when I was 11 years old, and she plays a big part of my life. She is the most important piece to me, and the king is the most important piece in chess. I wanted each person in the photograph to be a part of the actual room when the exhibit opened. It's almost like they're looking at you while you're looking at them. Only one piece is not looking, that's the bishop, because he's always worried about what's going on in front of him. He represents my blood brother here in St. Louis, who is always on a job, always just moving forward. Together, this all ties in to the black family unit. They each embody someone in my family.
This piece was really a more conceptual idea of how one person thinks when playing chess. Playing chess is about pushing your ego back, because if you have too much of an ego playing chess, you can lose easily because you think you're the stronger player. There's a boundlessness to the way that you think. It's floating in this black void where there's no up, down, left, right, and it's sort of hanging on its own forces of gravity and electromagnetic forces that are working to kind of keep it together. When you think in chess, you're really escaping time because you're trying to anticipate into the future where you're going to move and how your opponent is going to move.
This whole exhibition is just amazing, and just being a part of it challenged me, and I'm looking forward to continue doing these types of works.
To see the amount of diversity in what people have come up with, and yet still seeing some common themes between the pieces, is really phenomenal.
These artists created this artwork for the Hall of Fame's permanent collection, so all of this work is now filling a hole of contemporary art in our permanent collection. These pieces will be able to be exhibited in the future. We hope to find temporary homes for them, maybe with some of our partners, some of the local schools that have great chess clubs in it. So these pieces will live beyond this exhibition.